Hello, and welcome. My name is Yiannis, and welcome to the first Monday live trade session here at Trade Set Go. I'm super excited to have you. I'm going to be here with you for the next 2 hours, and it's going to be a good one because we're going to be analyzing what is happening in the markets this week. We're also going to be analyzing what's going to be how the trades went already from the London session. This is the overlap. This is the highest volume session of the day. It's when, if you have seen our videos, you know that this is the time where you can get a lot of volume, especially in Forex, where we have the crossover of the London session and the New York session. If you haven't seen that video, go and watch the sessions. It's like a gold mine of information. Hello, Mr. TJ and Mr. Sir Jones. Hello. Who else we got? We got Seb. Nice to see you. Our good old moderator, Yash, and Balaji. I killed that, Balaji. I think that sounds right. But let's go straight into the session. We're going to start with the performance of today, which was good. It was quick. I'll tell you why I did these trades. And obviously, these sessions are all about learning from others, especially in this case from me. What I do, all these sort of webinars that we do and all the information that we give for free to you guys, it's something that you can take on a daily basis and use with your trading. And we're going to be looking at especially things like Forex positions, which we have been looking at. I can just hear some background noise. Let me kill that so you can hear me better. That should be, hopefully you can't hear that noise, but here we are. This is the trade that I've taken today. Made about 200 bucks on the MT5 that we've been following. Good afternoon, says Matthew. Good afternoon. That trade was a short position, and we're going to tell you why I went short and what have we been talking about overall our long bias on the pound dollar, especially when it comes to looking at the COD report, looking at what is coming from in terms of we had the NFP event that was a market. I can see TJ here saying that major market opened with a huge gap. Yes, and I can see your certified picture there. Good job. Yeah, that was a big gap. We can see it here. I was willing to continue to push that lower, and you can see that I've made profit on the shorts even though the price is going higher. We're going to talk about that and how I trade with that and how it makes sense for my trading. Still repositioning, absolutely, Tom. Repositioning is in the house. That's the way I love to trade. And if no one has heard about repositioning, it's the way that I trade for cost dollar average. So I can go into a trade. You will see here, these trades actually got paid before I had to reposition. But even if that went against me, these were the areas where I would reposition. And repositioning means that these are the areas where I would short it if it had gone higher. So let's go on to a little bit of trading view. And we're going to see a little bit of, let me just switch to the right one. This bad boy here. So what we had today a gap before the Asian session. Bro, can you turn your subtitles for this live? It'll make it easier to follow your explanations. I don't know how I can do that, actually. If there is a way to do it, I would do it. But I'm not sure if I can add subtitles from my side. I believe that you can do it on YouTube. It should have a setting that you could do that. So I'll try and speak really simply. If that helps. I know I speak a little bit fast sometimes, but hopefully we can get you going. So, and welcome, Eyeball V4 as well. So what we looked at, and if you are first time here looking at the screens, you will see certain things that are happening on my charts. The first thing is certain levels, right? You can see red levels, you can see orange levels, you can see a white level that says equilibrium, and we're going to talk about all these. Why do I look at these levels? And obviously, this is your versions of resistance and support. Let's go, it says Khalid, is that right? Khalida. If I killed that, I'm sorry. You can see, I like these levels because it gives me a little bit of structure. If you haven't seen the video of why the line charts is the way to go when you're looking at historical data, go and watch that video. And you can see these levels, for instance, you will see it when the Scruffy trader trades it. You will see it when the big OGs, Dow, created actually the line chart to look at certain ways of analyzing the markets. You can see here the monthly levels that are being plotted on here. It just gives you a nice arena and an easy way to find levels when everything in the world of trading is super, super complicated and super, super over-analyzed. Something like this can give you a clean chart where you can use. So that is why we use the levels. What about Bali Life says? Are you still there? I am indeed. Bali Life is good. It's still hot. It's still the amazing people that live here. Child life, all going well. Thanks for asking, Tom. We are super. We've had a second kid now, so that is definitely keeping me busy. But yeah, everything is looking good. Trading's been going well. And super happy to have joined the TradeSet Go family. And yeah, doing a lot of free education for you guys, which is, I think it's helping a lot. That's what everyone is telling me, especially in the Discord. So that makes me happy. Any surprise for us? Surprise? What type of surprise? Market surprise? Are you talking about, I'm guessing you're talking about giveaway surprise, right? Is that right, ex-millionaire? If we are talking about giveaways, the giveaway today will be the knowledge. Mic drop. No. Just that is the surprise of the day, that there's no giveaway today. But there is a lot of information that you will learn because I'm going to show you how I managed to get $1,000 on this account. I'm talking about my, I haven't extracted it actually today. This is the MT5 from the Fivers prop, which I use to extract that money and then do more with it afterwards. So my ideal scenario with this is to feed my personal account, and every $1,000 this hits, I extract it, because we know how the market is. You might have $1,000 in profit and you don't extract it, and then the next week goes by as you're still trading it, and you've lost that $1,000, and you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, why did I do that? I should have extracted that money, put it into the bank account, put it into CFDs, put it into my retirement plan, or whatever you're doing, how you're building your portfolio. It's really, really crucial to have these moments, milestones, where you pull out away money and you put it into work. So this was a 5,000 account, and now it's grown to 41,000. So after, I believe, when this hits 44,000, so another 3,000 to go, then it will go to 80. So I'm hoping to show you this journey of how you can use prop firms, all your different types of content or of accounts that you have, to build a nice portfolio and eventually to be able to go financial free. That is the aim of any trading account. Or if you're not going financially free, you might be aiming to be able to create another second income or a side income from your job. And that is also okay. Imagine if you're making, let's say, 2,000-3,000 from your job, and suddenly you're making another 2,000-3,000. Now you're talking about good figures. You're up into 6,000. Sorry, I've got a little bit of a cold here going, but it's enough, says TJ. I agree. Like, if you can, we can see the shorts coming in here. Here's the overlap coming in now. I didn't I'm going to show you these trades and why I took them, but I don't think I'm going to add into this short now. Even if it takes a low, we filled the gap and now we're continuing potentially lower. That's an extraordinary scaling. Thank you. I've been doing this for a long time now. Scaling is my little baby, as I say. I did it on the bootcamp accounts, on the Fivers. I did it on, this is a hyper growth. They keep changing names. I think this is the hyper growth. So it doubles every time. So let's go and analyze a little bit the week. Let's start there because that is the most important thing. Let me find it. Okay, so what we're going to see here is, I'm just going to open, this is a really cool thing I found, where you can open multiple, you know when you have your workstation, this is not trading related, but it's actually trading related because you could do this on your laptop right now. This is a really cool feature. It's something called, where is it? Session Buddy, right? It's an extension. And you can save all your tabs. So if you have your news, if you have your, clean my throat. If you have pound USD or whatever you're trading on there, you can have your economical data, you can have your COD reports, your discords, your financial juice, anything that you're tracking, you can save all these in Session Buddy, and every time you open your tab, you can just press one key and it comes up. How cool is that? I found that feature really, really cool, especially when it comes to trading, because it's almost like having your trading dashboard ready to go and firing when you're ready to go. What is happening this week? We have big Bali speak at 4:45. That's in about 4 hours, I believe. That's going to affect the pound dollar. We know that. We also have core CPI tomorrow. Big event, core CPI. This is going to be interesting because we had the NFP surprise. Now, is it going to be a surprise for CPI? We'll find out. And we also have Fed Chairman Chat testifies at 10 p.m. So that's also going to impact. A lot of news tomorrow. So if you are trading the USD or any macro pairs or any US indices or anything related to the dollar, it's going to move. It's going to move big tomorrow. So we need to be aware of that. That's why I'm also not thinking of adding. I made $200 today. That is super amazing for that type of account. Do I need to squeeze it and push more? Not really. I'm not going to be doing that. Even though, and this is something that you need to learn, is just because you've made some money, you don't keep going, because we have the overlap of the New York and we're going to see some nice moves. I will give you my commentary on what I think is going to be happening on the market. But in terms of the trading has been done for me from the London session. So let's have a look of why I traded short. Jesus Christ. Right. First of all, we had a big, massive, and I'm talking about the pound dollar, by the way. This is the first thing that we're going to be analyzing because it's the one thing that I trade the most. Now, the first thing that I do, I go on a daily and I put my previous daily highs and lows on here. So I wanted to show you this. So I'm going to go and look at the highest point of the previous daily high and the lowest point of the previous daily low. Then I take a Fibonacci, I put it on the high, put it on the low. This is going to give me the 50%. I drag that, put it on the 50%. Let's take this. I'm going to change the lines because it looks very, I can't see the 50. 50, make it white. Oh, no, the line. $50, $50, $50, 50%, that's right. Why is it not showing? I know. Okay, this is that one. So equilibrium is here. So that would be the Friday session at 10 of Nazareth. Just laughing with the comments. So the information that we had for today was coming from the previous Friday, and we had a gap. Take that in mind when you're going into how I was thinking about finding short opportunities in this entry here. One big thing that's happened is that we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 continuous candles to the upside. We had a retracement, and then we had 1, 2, not a third candle. So you know the 3 soldiers theory? That every time you have a 3 green candle, one after the other, it's highly likely that we're going to have a break to the upside. You can see that historically here. 1, no 3s here. Obviously, it doesn't happen all the time. It just shows you that 3 days consecutive have been pushing higher. 1, 2, 3, continue higher. 1, 2, 3, continue higher. So, right, that is actually a strategy that people use it. Is this New York time? Yes, it is. I mean, I'm guessing what you mean by New York time. I said yes, but as in we're trading New York time? Yes. And the poor guy that can't understand my accent, now that I've got a cold, it's going to be even worse for you. I'm really sorry. But we'll try and figure out to have subtitles. So that is the equilibrium done, right? So let me just turn off all these, just so you can see cleanly what I'm looking at. Right? High, low, boom, boom, boom. Now, then let's go to the 15-minute. And we see the Asian range. Asian range created an exact match of the 50 average of the previous 50 events, right? So that means if we go back and see 50 events of the time frame on the TV, wait a minute, where's that? Am I missing something? Maybe. Not sure, Matthew. Oh, trade of you. God, what am I talking about? It is, sorry, buddy. It's Bali time, but I can change it to New York if you want. There we go. That's New York UTC now, 8:15. So this is going to start piling up the New York session at 9. So we're going to see what happens there. Right, let's talk about this because it might be a good information to take in terms of trading. Asian session, boom. This is the box I'm looking at here. 19 pips. So it did 18 pips in this session. So it pretty much did the same exact pips for the last 50 sessions. So that is a really solid, what's the word? Prediction of what the Asian market would do. Sorry. But that would be consolidation, I would call it. We had a break below and then we consolidated into the Asian range. Then I took this trade. You know I like this trade because I like to fade the Asian session. Was it a little bit early? Potentially. But there's two things that I've changed in the current setup of trading the pound dollar. One is I trade a little bit higher lot size. So normally I would trade 0.25, but the average session of London is only giving 30 pips. So if I trade with 0.25 and I take 10 pips, and that would be 1/3 of the market, I'm only making $25. So it doesn't make sense for me to spend all this time on the charts to make $25 on this account. So I've traded with one lot, but smaller. We're looking for 5 pips. Now, you need to be a lot careful with your stops when you're trading higher lot size, right? So my stops were in this range here. You can see entry, for instance, shorting the range. It was only 5 pips to the previous daily low and into that gap. So that would have been quite easy for me to get stopped out. But I traded this down into 5 pips there. Took about 60 pounds. When it came and hit the previous daily high, I traded it again, got another 50, 60 pounds. And then I had to sit in this one for about, I think it went to $80 drawdown. And then it delivered 2 repositions. So 2 repositions would look like this. And for the people that don't know what repositioning is CDA, so cost average. So let's say these were the 2 trades, and I'm talking about these trades today. So these are the deeper ones. You got the $64 there, $64. The $18 is a reposition. So that means I closed it for break even because I hit my target. So that, the price came up like this, tagged me in. This made profit, but then I closed this for 18 bucks just to pay the cost. I think it was 4 bucks or 5 bucks. I think it's $5 to pay a 1 lot. So I just paid that. I made $10 on that with an overall 200 bucks. Now that was the trading for today. It doesn't need to be more complicated than this for 2 reasons. One, we had a big gap, and the gap is going to do 2 things. It's either not going to fill, so it takes a long time to fill and you're chasing that gap, or it will fill quickly, and when it fills quickly, most likely is because it wants to go lower, right? And that's what we're seeing now. We are holding, though, above this range here, which is interesting. We'll see how London on New York opens. This is a really, really crucial part here. If we're going to take the lows of London, you know how we have it? We have manipulation, distribution. So that's what we're seeing. And you've heard me say these lingos with ICT trading. I traded ICT and when was it? About 2 years ago. I traded the model of 2020. It worked really well for me because I combined parts of it with what I know about the markets in the previous. So I always wondered, how can I get really good entries? And I really liked the entry, what you call a turtle soup. And that would be exactly what we're doing now. How we're taking the Asian high, reversing price, taking the lows, distributing price to the opposite side of the range. That was really clear to me. And for some reason, I really understood it. I really grasped it. And I made it my own. And that's what, with any information that you see out there, even if you hate the person, because I know a lot of people hate the ICT guy, or they might hate me, or they might hate Scruffy, or they might hate other people. There's a reason that information has landed to you, and you can do something with it. If you use it and you create your own stuff and you get inspired by it, or you find something, for instance, these sessions, Asian session, London session, I didn't know about them before I heard about them in the impact that they have in trading. And when you learn about them, then you can make them your own and trade them and be successful. That's the whole point of trading. Learning and have 1 or 2 good mentors. That is always good. Is having someone who's actually making money, not listening to people who talk the talk but don't show the talk, for sure. And then as you slowly build your confidence around your own trading, eventually finding the confidence and saying, you know what, I've got a system here that I can trade it with confidence, and it's something that I want to do for a living. And that is the best part. When you start feeling confident in your setup because you back tested or you forward tested. And what's the difference between back testing and forward testing? I call it forward testing is the money maker, right? The money is coming in, you're testing things and it's working. The other version is you back test 2-3 years, see if it works. My only concern with that is you might be caught in a cycle where it might be working and the next cycle is not working. So you could be in a place where your strategy is working up to a point, and then suddenly you start trading. You might have seen this. You might have been in a trade, and you're suddenly, wait a minute, I've tested 5 years of this, and suddenly it's not working. What is happening? But you might be in a cycle of trading, or a cyclical cycle of when stocks are shorted and you're longing, and your strategy is a long when the actual stock market cycle is on a short. So whatever you do, whatever strategy you use, nothing works. And that's where people get a bit confused with the markets, and they're like, hold up, my strategy has a really good win ratio and it has a really good expectancy, right? It's at 1.5, but it's not working. How is that? This market is rigged. We see that all the time when you talk about trading. Am I trading right now? This is live charts, obviously. I will tell you what I would trade. This is the trades I took about an hour ago. I closed my last trade. I traded London. You can see them here. This is the same chart as you're seeing on TradingView. This is the gap. Like I explained, I wanted to take this lower. I took the Asian highs and shorted it, and then it pushed up and I repositioned back to this trade. So in terms of pips, how much did we do? We did 12, 18, about 30 pips. 30 pips profit today. Not bad. Call that a good day. Let's have a look at the chat. The guys hating the ICT are similar to those blaming FIFA for the poor form. Hate is there's a lot of hatred. I would say it differently. There's a lot of passion in trading because it involves a lot of emotions and money. Money, even with your wife or girlfriend, when you're talking about money, conversations can get heated. So trading is always a heating topic. It's a little bit like politics. So yeah, I wouldn't say that people only hate to hate. One, the hate that happens is for two reasons. One, they don't understand what they're listening to because they haven't put the work to try and understand what the concept is or what people are saying. So that could come out as hate, as a defensive mechanism because, hey, I don't understand that. I'm not going to make money with this, so I'm going to hate. The other way of hating is, I guess, what other people think. I always like to believe, and I am the person who wants to see by myself if that is the actual truth or not. Other people don't. Other people don't. They like going with the rumors or whatever. I am the person who likes to do my homework on everything, trading, on people, before I make any sort of decisions. Jesse, yes, this is live. TJ says, why? Who cannot create anything by be hating a legend who creates a strategy that changes life? I agree. Any kind of information, guys, it's free information. Like anyone who's providing free information is great. Strategy. As a beginner, I don't know how to create it. A strategy. Okay, that is something that we can talk about, Jesse. Not bad at all. I think you're referring to today's revenue. Yes, I think on that rate, if you can make $200 a day, what's that? In 5 days, you hit $1,000. In 4 weeks, you hit your targets, which is 10%. And that's huge, right? 10% in a month is massive. And if anyone says that 10% is not massive, just look at the returns of institutional traders' return in a year, and you'll be surprised. We're talking about 30% to 40% in a year. So if you can hit 10% on a month, please stop. Don't chase more, because that is huge. You are outperforming the whole industry of trading. Don't chase the money. Don't do it. It's going to eat your money away. That is one of the biggest lessons that made me profitable. One of the leading factors, especially in prop trading, to extracting 30 plus thousand from it, is being consistent but frugal. For instance, today I can trade now. I can obviously trade now because I have the leverage, I have the sizing, but I know that the chances of me getting another $200 when I've already made $200 decreases, because as the longer you are in the market, the more you're exposing your accounts, your risks, your emotions, and that is something that you want to avoid. The best scenario in trading is to be in, make the money, and leave. When that happens, that is the best scenario. If you can do that repeatedly, you're going to be a very, 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 very rich man or woman. I think for me, I'm just reading. Right, let's see what we got. We got an Arsenal fan here. Very happy man this year. I think for me, a lot of the times when I was stuck back, then I would understand everything. But making a strategy to work from all that was the issue. Okay, let me reread that. I think for me, a lot of the times when I was stuck, stand everything, but making... Okay, so what we're saying is someone can explain a strategy, but when I tried to apply it to myself, that strategy failed. That is progression, guys. That is 100% something that needs to happen in your trading career for two reasons. Because let's say I created a strategy, and one of my original strategies... All right, this is a guy that you probably don't know, and you might not know this about me, but the first ever guru that I followed and started trading with was called Kralo. He was from Lithuania, I believe. Wait, Lithuania? No, maybe Latvia. And he had very similar levels to what you saw, like I showed you now, levels and structures. But he would use the RSI, he would use Bollinger Bands and MACDs. So that would be my setup. I would trade when it was outside the Bollinger, and he would make the lines on the bodies of the candles, and I would reverse that and make money. And that worked really, really well. And I was following exactly Dana, is that your name? I was following exactly his strategy. So I was like, oh my God, I've got it. I understand exactly what he means. I'm doing it. I'm making money. This is it. I'm going to be a bloody billionaire. But after a while, I noticed my strategy wasn't working so well, because the indices start dipping. DAX was dropping. The DAX was moving very aggressive on certain news. And I was doing the same thing, not having a lot of exposure. This was early days in my trading. It was about... I don't know, it took me about 2-3 months to understand that. Dan, okay, Dan, got ya. So yeah, when I learned it and did it, and then I got hit, because I need to share you this picture I have. When I was trading, I was so oblivious that I made a table of, what's it called, a whiteboard. And I wrote down day 1, 3%, day 2, 3%. And not only that, I was like, compounded. So I'm going to be a millionaire after 100 days. That is going to happen. And I genuinely believed it. And sometimes you need to be a bit crazy to kind of make it happen. But this strategy was working up to day 15. So I had 3% compounded 15 days in a row. And this was early doors in my trading. So you can imagine... I was on cloud 9. Probably the same feeling when Arsenal won the Premier League. That was how I was feeling. But then the next week, that's the problem with compounding, is that it can go against you, and the compounding increases your losses. So the strategy didn't start working for me because it wasn't the type of strategy that I could. It was a risk-reward strategy. Put 1, get 4. And that didn't work with my psychology, blah, de, blah, de, blah. And after a while, that account got blown. And it was my personal money. It was like 5 grand. It had grown to like 20 grand. I couldn't believe it. and I blew it. So anyone who has savings and you see profits and you give away your savings and your profit, oh my God, that is like, what have I done? And that was a long story short. That is the reason why it takes a while for you not only to understand the strategy that you're going to be trading, but understand, is that strategy good for me? How do I need to develop it and change it in order to trade it? Now, this is an interesting area, guys. I'm just going to pause here because I'm looking at this. We're at probably around the middle range of London. London gave 100% of what is given, so 30 pips to the up and down. So this would be, if it was continuing lower, this would be the area where I would want to retest another position. I'm going to be super, because normally when I trade and I've done my profits, I leave the screen. So me being here is really hard not to trade. So this is a really hard mental game for me right now, because this is an area where I would like to be involved. But I'm doing it for you guys so you can see what it looks like. So we're having a retest of this area here. Now I would want to see, are we going to take this high, or are we going to take this area here, fair value gap, this one, and because that's taken, I'm going to move that to here. Are we going to take this area here? That is the question that I would be thinking right now. If we don't, and we continue lower, then I would be interested. If we do, what I'm talking about, if we do see something like this and we broke lower, then I would be interested in trading that lower. But if we break higher and we break the highs of this, I would not continue on the lows on this, because we're already at the previous daily low. Green is previous daily low, red is previous daily high. So as you can see here, nice retracement, just tipped above the highs here and sold off, failed to take the low, came within the range, took the low of the previous low, and now we're retesting the high. If we don't take that, this is an interesting setup here. Where are we? Let's see. This is the dream of every beginner. Yes, I think everyone in the beginning of trading, they want to make money. So as soon as you see money, you're like, okay, this is happening. You should get an educational account, like an extra 10K, or I'm not sure what that means, CJ. Like an extra 10K. Yeah, enlighten me on that. Strategy creation tip for today. Right. There's going to be like an educational version on, look at this, guys. Here we are on the moment we were talking about. Is this going to fail? Let's see. There's the failure. Like magic. Now, you would want to see this close here and then another close below it. Right? So you would want to see this close below it, retest to go lower. Let's see this. Where's that? Where are we on? Well, 41. That's the close of the minute. Let's see what happens. That's a good candle for what I was talking about. Oh, I see what you mean. It's just another account. I say, yeah, this is the account that I always like trading live accounts, because it's not real if I don't have pain into the market. You know what I mean? It's easy for me to say, oh, let's create a demo account in here and just show you the demo account. But that's not real conversation, because maybe I won't take that trade if it's a demo. But that's why I like bringing the real account here. And I know, like when we do the London sessions, you will see the trades live, because that's when I normally trade. But when we do New York sessions, it's most likely that I would have finished my trades from the morning. But yeah, it's very different doing prop, fake or demos or real accounts. It's huge. I do want to speak to where are you, Jishi, about creating an account. How do you create a strategy? I'm going to do a whole webinar on this, but it is in the build-up. But just for now, a few tips. One is, and look at this, guys. It's happening. Look at this. Now you want to see that break below here. Break below here. Find the low. If that is going to do the low. If it doesn't and it breaks high and it goes higher, then I don't think there's any point going lower. Let's see this. This is a good close. This is a red candle close. See how this breaks down. Let's see who we got here. Abid Rock. How many symbols do you trade, bro? Also, are you a CFD trader or a futures trader? I'm a CFD trader. I have multiple accounts. I have a prop firm for my acceleration. Prop firms I use to bring in money that feed in my CFD account. Hello, PVT. Then I have look at that candle, green candle. Is it going to take the highs? Let's see. CFD accounts is the leveraged account. This is something that I can use. Rejected again. Something that you can use leverage to order to access trades with small amounts of capital. So what I mean by that, if you have less than $5,000, it's quite hard to trade indices without CFDs, because the leverage, let's say you have $100 and you have leverage of 500, then you have 500 times the buying power of what you would have in your $500. In your $100, sorry. So that gives you an ability. For me, who do CDAs, is the way to use accounts with what they give you, right? Prop as an accelerator, CFD using the leverage to be able to trade multiple positions, especially in me. Then I have an investment account, which is I put money in, just forget about it. I hold it, retirement plans, whatever, big fees that I have to pay, whatever, rent. And that's it, about 4 to 5 accounts. And I think everyone should be doing that. If you don't have 3 to 4 accounts of dispersed money, that's something that you need to look into. Mo, hello, long time. Hey, Yiannis, nice to see your streams again. Your camera seems to be losing quality bitrate somehow. Is it? As in it's jumpy, or it's more pixelated? Actually, this camera is a 4K camera, so maybe there's something in the settings that I need to do. Or are you talking about the trading view that you can see? Maybe this one. The quality is dropping. Okay. Let's see what we can do about that. Let me see. Hopefully this doesn't crash the stream, but if it does, I'll come back. I'm just going to try and see if I can fix it. Okay. Right, is that working now better or the same? Let's see. I don't know. Hopefully it's not too bad. So we're seeing those red candles coming down, which is really, really great. PVT Parts says, any other predictions bearish? I had shorts today. Those predictions held really, really well for my, to me, trading. You know it's happening through the stream at the beginning. It was fine. Okay. I'll try and see what that is. Camera is fine. Okay. No, your camera is becoming like Minecraft. Okay. Hopefully the stream gets better. Definitely want to stream with the Minecraft. Let's see how it goes. I've now switched my Wi-Fi off, so maybe that was the problem. And we're connected directly to the router. The predictions here is working well. We don't want to see that candle coming higher because that is going to be counterintuitive to what we're looking for. To go back to PVT, about the trades, I've been bearish today. It worked really well. I got about 35 pips out of this move. However, someone would say this is bullish, right? Because we're pushing higher and now we're squeezing in this sort of cone formation or like a flag formation, which can go either way. But for me, it's been bearish, even though overall, in terms of fundamentals and COD report, I have been bullish. And as I explained earlier, I've increased a little bit my lot size because the average pip range that is moving currently on the London sessions is not that much. It's 30 pips. So it's something that I had to adapt to. Let me go on that. And I'm talking obviously about the pip range in the 5 minutes to the 15 minutes, yeah? Let's not get confused with the daily pip range. So if I turn this on, let me see, this will give me all the lines and it will also give me the pip range. So 71 pips in the whole daily range that it gives on the pound dollar. 5 minute candle is looking greenish. Here we're seeing if that is going to fail the highs and continue lower to the previous daily low. Gold gap is yet to be filled. I believe we should bounce. Let me see this information here from TJ. Gold gap is yet to be filled. I believe we should bounce after liquidity swept at 4040 area, I think. Let's have a look at the gold. Let's have a look at gold. Let's have a look at what price we are on the pound. So we're looking at 9495, just to keep an eye on that. Gold, not futures. Let's go spot. Yet to be filled, the gap. Let's have a look. Where is that gap? Are you trading futures? Oh, this gap. Okay. This gap is quite a decent far out, huh? This bad boy here. What did we do here in terms of ranges? Look at that. We had Asian range. Looks quite big, actually. What was that compared to? Oh, it did 100% of the Asian range. Decent. Let's look at the previous daily lows, highs. We had a red pin bar or a bull bar. CFDs, okay. Previous daily high and previous daily low. And then, ooh, look at that fair value gap, where it's sitting. I'm guessing it's very close to the 50% of the previous daily range. Look at that, boom, straight there. This is a great, interesting area. Okay, that's that. Let's have a look. Oh, God, where did it go? This is interesting because we have no monthly levels above this area here, and we have a monthly level below and a weekly level. These are my support resistance levels that I'm looking at. And we're looking at a fair value gap within the equilibrium level of the previous day. So that is all fascinating. I'll tell you why. Look at this. We took Asian low, we pushed price over, and now we're getting into the New York session. New York session has two things that can happen. One, it reverses price of London and distribute price where it was going to go anyway, which would be the case of this, if that was the lows being filled. This low, failed low after London. Nice. Look at this. Look, this is really good price action, actually. Look at this. Get me excited on gold. Don't really trade gold, but this is looking good. Where is it? Let me hide this for a second. So we've had a really nice push here. Ultimate lows, ultimate highs. I need my Fibonacci to be white. It's too dark. Let me change that. White, so there we go, boom. So we've had a 61% retracement on that. I've also looking on the left side to see if there's any areas of interest that have been filled and have their previously high areas been taken out. So the previous previous highs that have been taken out, there's no fair value gaps here that's been taken out or anything like that. This was the only area here, took out once, twice, 3 times. Brig delivery downwards with this candle here, back to the 61. Now we're having 3 bullish candles on the top side on a 15-minute, and we're pushing higher. So this is really nice. Now, where would I be interested in getting involved in this is if we have a confirmation above the previous daily low, confirmation above the previous daily low, push down into that weekly level. Do you need to go to the gap? Not necessarily, but because you have a nice weekly level there, that would give you a nice, what is that? Now help me here, because that says 1,567 pips. So that must be 156 pips, right? I think it's 156 pips. That's a ton of pips. From the previous daily low to the high. And it gives you a nice area where you can manage the trade, because it gives you the previous daily low to use as a stop. It also gives you the swing lows, if you're trading smaller trades, to have a nice pip arrangement where you can use a stop loss below here. So that is interesting. Guys, if you are not in the Discord, do me a favor and click on this here. You don't click on it, actually. Get your phones out and scan this. And you can go into the Discord where you can find a lot of educational stuff, a lot of my how I trade, a lot of tools, calculators, a lot of portfolio management tools. So do that. How many pips do you usually risk? That's a very good question, because risk is something that we all need to nail when it comes to trading. Now, with my risk management, it's not about pips. It's actually more about monetary value that I'm willing to lose. Let me just see what happened here, because we were away for a couple of minutes. This happened. What we said happened. Look at this. Breaking the low. Now we're having the retracement, filling this. If this breaks the lows, we are... You can call me whatever. But this is looking like a nice little price action here. We'll see if it continues lower. Even though that looks like a bullish price, this is actually a bearish setup so far. This is something that I trade all the time. Now, if that went wrong, and I was trading this and went wrong, and I'm going to answer your question on the pips, you have areas where you can protect yourself. You have a fair value gap here that you can protect yourself. 1. You have the highs above here that you can protect yourself. 2. You have a high here that you can protect yourself. 3. A high level weekly support resistance level where you can protect yourself. And what I mean by that is, let's say I was trading this and it didn't go my way, right? And I entered on this area here. I could use a tool, which I've labeled repositioning tool, and it doesn't help that it's all black. That doesn't help either. I thought there was a button. Use one color. There we go. So I have a tool that I would, depending on my, these are 20% apart. But what you can do is where you're going to have your first entry to your multiple entries, to spread where I'm going to have 5 positions or 3 positions or 2 positions. This is the tool. It's such a simple tool, but it's the tool that I use the most, because it fixes where I'm going to be entering my positions. So let's say I entered on this area here. You can see already, if I was doing, let's say I was doing 5 pips. I was looking for 5 pips. 5 pips on a one lot, you're talking about $50. So then if we go back like this, then I would expand that tool for the 5 pips to be 20%. We need it a little bit bigger. Following? Now the 5 pips is 20%. This 20% represents 5 pips. So when I go here, I can go to, I want to go to this one here. So now my second position, I would want to see if can I increase. Is this a nice area to get my second position in? Yes, because it's in a fair value gap. It's 5 pips away. That would be a nice area. The 60%, I would want it closer to the what is it? To the weekly. So between this position and this position, that's 5 pips. This is 2.5 pips. So I would probably wait and get positioned here for shorts. So now let's see. Actually, this is a good example here, because a lot of people would see these candles and they would freak out because it's going in your wrong direction. So let me change this to a. I don't have something here. Let's do it like. Let's do. What color should we do? Let's do yellow. Yellow represents positions. Let's say, hypothetically. And obviously don't take any trades of this, guys. It's for educational reasons. It's taken me 10 years to master this way of trading. So be careful. So 80%. Have I got 2 tools here? I've got 2 tools. No. All right, so that would be the second one. That would be the first entry. And this would be, like we said, the third entry, I would push it higher to the weekly. Potentially, maybe not, because that's a nice high there. I would probably keep it in. This will be something that I would have to, if this was London session right now, this is the big decision that I would have to make for the day. Do I take this position here, or do I wait for an extra 3 pips to add to add it here. As you can see, now this trade, I have one position here that would be 5 pips down, and now it's starting to push down. That means that this is probably 1 to 2 pips in profit. This is probably down to 4 in pips profit. As these, I will show you what I would do. But if this price came back down to here, I have multiple options I can do. I can either close the worst position here for not profit, just for break even, and then I'm left with this position here. That's something that I call repositioning. I reposition myself on the trading map higher. I don't make profit, but I'm positioning my trade higher. I normally do that if I think that the price is going higher and I've got in too early. Where I don't necessarily think in this trade that that's going to happen. So I would probably leave this trade in. So the other option is I actually hold my position, hold both positions, and I see them through. I see the profit through. That's the other one. And the final position, well, I have multiple things that I think about these, but the big ones is the closing or re-entering, right? That will be the re-entering. So if this price came back down to 5 pips and I made 5 pips profit, and then it came back up, I would re-enter and get another 5 pips profit. So that would give me 10 pips and I would be still at break even. The original position with 10 pips in profit. So those are 3 different ways that I would trade this. Let's see how many are following. If that low breaks, let's have a look. Dan. If that low breaks, that will be your last confirmation before you look for entry. I think you're mentioning for earlier, right? I missed your chat. I think you were talking about this low here, if that low breaks. For me, that would be an option for safe option. But because I'm looking for 5 pips, it's not a big range. I would rather be in a position where I feel comfortable that I can manage. And that probably is higher up. So it's counterintuitive because I think of the stop rather than the profit. So if I get confirmation here, that is probably higher probability that will work. But it might be hard for me to do the risk management because I might be down here and this might be 10 pips away extra than I need to wait. Does that make sense, Dan? So I would rather get a non-confirmed entry if I have the overall thesis okay, and I've got my dailies, my monthlies, my analysis. I would be willing to get a better worse entry because it would give me better risk or how to analyze the risk. So yes, so to answer to PVT finally about the pips, if I've made, this is a rule I have in general for all my accounts. If I've made 2,000 in a week, and I do that on an average, Chunt says the US is taking over Strait of Hormuz. Okay, this is news happening. Let's have a look. Financial juice. Iran top joint military command. Iran would not allow the US to intervene. The management of Strait of Hormuz. Oh, the Trump Fox News interview just finished. That's what we're referring to. We're going to get paid for guarding the strait, says Trump. The amount of stuff that things... Okay, here's a red news. May see shutdown in September if filibuster, don't know what that means, does not end. Okay, so we have, I guess, some bearish news on the dollar. That's why it's happening. But as you can see, yeah, that is bearish news. PVT. I'm just looking at... See anything else? Iran, we talked about that. My news. This is the 10th of July. This is old. I just want to news. Just looking at the news for you guys, just in case there's something coming big. Trump doing Trump stuff. We're taking over the strait, he says. Interesting. Well, we've heard that before. Okay, so look at this, guys. If this was the trade that we talked about, we would be in profit for this for half the way that what you want to make. Trump strikes again. He has a say in everything right now. He's even in, you saw what happened at the World Cup with the USA player turning up and playing with a red card. That was interesting, to say the least. Fair value gap has been filled, so I'm going to delete this to make the chart cleaner. I want to see the dollar, because the dollar, look at that, boom. Just a little bit of a bearishness spike to the downside there. Good old Trump stuff. I don't think that is anything new, big new though. I'm sure that this language now has lost the impact, because we've heard it before. POTUS says countries must pay the US for defending the strait. Yeah, I saw that. It's coming in as in, where was it? We're taking over. I did read it somewhere. Iran leaders are professional negotiations. FIFA and corruption go hand in hand. I have to say, as an half English person, I'm super, super happy right now because we're in the semi-final. Can I do let me see if I have a hooray. No, that's not the one. No, that's not the one. That's not the one. That's the one. That's for England for making the semi-final against Messi. Unfortunately, I love Messi, but I am rooting for a little bit of England right now. Everything has been priced in, says TJ. The USD can win both ways. Let's have a look at our gold. Look at that, guys. What did I say? What did I say? Boom. That would be your 5 pips. And now you'll be sitting in more than 5 pips at the previous daily low. We would have made... Trump can't even take out this missile. Look at that. I am also part English and loving it, says Maria. Bellingham and Kane are great. I agree. Nice to see you. It's coming home. We've heard that before, but let's not jinx it. Let's not jinx it. It can happen. It will happen. Sorry for my Argentinians. Am I sad of not taking this trade, even though we perfectly planned it and it worked out really, really well? Not really, because I've done my trading, and if I wasn't here with you guys, I would have turned off the screen. But because I am here with you and we're analyzing the New York, we've got a nice, real nice analysis there on the pound USD. What are your rules for non-confirmed and confirmed entries? This is a good one. Rules is a very good one because everyone talks about you have to follow your rules. You have to follow your rules. And I agree, rules are necessary. There is a but though. There's a big but, because I don't like rules that are going to take me out of opportunities that might be exceptions to the rule, right? So, and then if you add an exception to the rule, suddenly the rule's not, you're not using the rule. So it's almost like how do you manage having rules and trading with your trading within or without the rule range? The way I use rules is almost like, think about it like this. What is the behavior in my trading that I want to have? So then that becomes a rule. So for instance, if I'm trading and I'm suddenly over trading because I'm feeling confident about a trade, someone will say, well, you need a rule not to over trade. But that over trading might be required in a setup where is actually price is moving really well. Everything's my A setup. Maybe these two entries were one in a different day, but because of the volatility and everything that's happening, I want to be two today. So I don't want to call it, I have to be very careful with the wording here because it's taken me 10 years to get to this level. I like flexibility in my plan. I don't like stupidity. That's the difference. So I want to be flexible in what I'm doing, and in terms of confirmed and non-confirmed entries, sometimes the confirmed on another day might not be confirmed for multiple reasons. But those real reasons, I can't put them in a rule-based scenario. I'll give you an example. Let's say my rule base was to get the entry below the break of this low. So after this candle closes, I'm in. That means that I would get an entry down here, right? Because that would have been the closed, or possibly I could take this one. Let's say I'm taking this candle to go lower. But because of the volatility and because of the average daily range of the pound dollar, it doesn't give me enough room to define my risk. So that means that I would rather take a trade if this pushes to this level now and continue lower. On another day, that might not be a good entry because this might be not be at the previous daily low. So I have certain rules. I'm thinking of the word, but I can't remember the word now. It's not rules. It's almost like patterns. I have patterns of trading that I use on good days, on bad days, on really good days, on really bad trades. And those patterns also have, they're not rule-based. They're sort of, sorry, my voice is going. They're sort of behaviors that I do depending on what the market is doing and how it reacts. And then you might say, okay, if you don't have a rule on an entry, how you can define an entry? I define an entry individually on a daily basis depending on what I'm seeing. That is the easiest way I can say it. So there's rules within the day. That's how I see it overall. And those rules will be starting from drawdown. And I saw there TJ saying it. Drawdown is one of the biggest factors. If I'm going to be risky, if I'm not going to be risky, does it make sense to enter the trade? That can be a rule, I guess. That would be a rule. is my drawdown. Can I have a drawdown of 20 pips or 5 pips or 10 pips? That is all determined of when my entry is. Does that make sense? PVT. Don't worry, A+ setup is about to form on the gold. Let's have a look at the gold. We were looking at that. Gold. Well, that didn't happen. Let's see. It's retracing down, obviously on strong. So why is dollar so if the gold is going down, that means that dollar is pushing higher. That's interesting, because you would think there's a bearish reaction to that. We'll see, because that is potentially retracing here. Let's take out the hour. What's the news saying? If war widens, it will reach all countries of the region. Responsibility lies with the US and its allies. Iran's top joint military command. It's crazy out there. Okay, PVT says yes. Okay, that makes sense. Sometimes I talk around, but eventually comes to the point. Unfortunately, anything in trading that sounds simple never works. Trust me. Everyone says, something that works needs to be explained very simply. And if you can explain it simply, everyone follows it, then it really works. And that's the only way that trading works. No, it doesn't work like that. Trading is complicated because it has to do with you. No one can explain what works for you. So you have to be in a position to be able to explain how you trade for you, for someone else to use that information to know what is good for them individually, not to copy you. That was the biggest learning, guys. The biggest learning that I had from mentors that I've had in my trading. Even from Kralo, from Scruffy, from all the books and everything that I've read. You have to be able to identify what you need as a trader. If you can do that early, then you're in a much, much, much better position to trade than anyone else who is trading, because you are locating what you need for you to be better. For you individually, right? Psychologically and technically, strategy and everything. So that was a successful setup there. Okay, so are we happy with the pound dollar? I don't think there's going to be another setup for today that is that clean. If we're happy with the pound dollar, we can jump onto another currency, or let's put it in the chat. What do you guys want? Do you want to see another currency? Do you want to stick on gold, indices? Is there any other thing? You have 40 minutes of my time, guys, and I'm here for you. So if you want me to look at something that will make you a better trader, let's do it. It could be anything. I'm going to close this. This is going to be interesting for tomorrow's trading. If we look at the New York range, we had this spike back to create the previous daily low and back into equilibrium of the previous day. And today we've had a big push onto the highs of London, rejecting the weekly, coming back, failing the low, and never coming lower, even though everything was bearish in my trading. Someone will say, how can you be bearish? Everything is moving up. But the bearishness came from the gap, came from that we were traded up into the previous daily low. It gave me a nice structure that I could risk manage my positions. So all that played part into my trading bearish today. Even in New York, we found a setup, really nice setup for 10 pips, double 5 pips there. So that's it. So German 40. We are talking to the favorite, one of the faves, the DAX. Nice. Look at that. We're hovering above a monthly level. Look how nicely these levels work, guys. This level here, it's probably from a couple of months' time back. Let's have a look on when it was. Levels don't lie. They just don't lie. So this level was from the 1st of May, guys. This is how far back we have to go. 1st of May, and here we have 1st of Feb. And now, look how these levels are behaving around the 1st of May. Holding, failing, and now we're on that level. Now, this is interesting. We're hovering on a level. Right, there's a couple of things that I would want to see here. Do we have the dollar? Oh, we don't have it. Let me see if I can find it for you guys. If you haven't followed the guide, make sure you drop into the Discord by clicking on with your phone on here. Just quickly show you what we have on the Discord. You have your general chat where you can chat with me and everyone else. We do chart analysis in there. Everyone puts their ideas in and thoughts. Obviously now this session has moved into our live event on Mondays, but normally it was only in Discord. And you have this amazing place, Scott Dog. Hello, Scott. I'll respond to that. This was webinars. Where is it? It's in Educational Hub. You can go, you have market intel. You also have webinar forums. And in here, you can download all the tools that I'm showing you and talking about. So, for instance, in Surviving the Drawdown, this is an unbelievable tool that you can use, the truth calculator. And it's just, honestly, it can save your accounts just by using that. So I would do that. It's all free. Just jump on there and get all that information. That's pretty much for this. So those are the things. The bootcamp, I think you're referring to the 300,000 bootcamp. I do not have that. That is a long story, sad story. That is I don't know if you've seen that. There's a live trade of me trading that account. Unfortunately, I lost my dad about three years ago. Was it 4 years ago? 3 years ago? And Scott is referring to a bootcamp account that I have that I've grown from 100,000 up to close to 300,000. It was in the 300 range, but because I had 20 grand on it in profit, I hadn't closed it, and I was in a drawdown, and I never recovered that drawdown. But that was emotionally trading during that period, and yeah, that is long gone. Bye bye bootcamp. I did another bootcamp since then, so that is going, and this is the hyper growth now. The hyper growth is growing nicely. Started with 5K. It's now up to 40 grand. Hopefully in the next month or two, we'll jump to 80 grand. And that moves a lot quicker than the boot camp because it doubles. So that's going to be good. Yeah, that's that. Let's go back to the DAX. So what we're seeing is the gap here. We saw the fulfillment of the gap. When is that gap? That is from 2 sessions ago. So the London session, Asian session, same gap. We filled it. Most of the gaps got filled, right? Apart from the gold one. And now we're seeing. Let me just change this. We're looking at a little bit of price action. Let's put the previous daily high and the previous daily low in there. We have, look at that range. We've taken the high massively. I'm going to change that to the template, daily high, to the daily low. And finally, the 50%, like all the times. Change that to the fib. The 50% is roughly around that monthly level, so that's nice. Makes it clean. Okay, so we have, damn, sorry for the language, but that is a big move. Look where it stopped on that monthly level here, 25,146, and it's rejected, and now it's come back to find the other monthly, and we're hovering within those ranges of the daily. Now, if we look at the 15-minute, and we go back to that, where is that level? That's the dailies. Let's go the hour. There is not much. Just need to populate the charts 1 second. So if we look at the hourlies, you can see that rejection here really clearly. So we're seeing a hold below. Now, this is in the middle of the range, so it's hard. Look at what London has done. London has had 3 green candles and closed, didn't come to fill the fair value gap, which is below the previous day. So that is an area where will be interesting. This is hourly. Get the mosquitoes. Okay, so we've got an hourly there. We've got that pushing down. Look at that, holding above the previous daily high. So that's that. Okay. Just taking in the charts. Damn, look at that move. Have I got that chart right? I've forgotten how much the DAX moves. That's crazy. What is this spike here? Wow. That's why I trade currencies now. The reason I'm talking about that is just I'm literally in shock of this drop down here. Let me get. What is that? 170 pips drop below to create the Asian range. Wow. The DAX moves. And not even that. Look how higher the London. So if you were shorting the Asian range here, you would be caught in big trouble. That's normally a setup that I would like. So we're talking about the same setup we did in the currency, but if we look at the indice, this is an area of interest. But let's say you want to short here for the Asian range to reversal. This is hard. This is hard for me to be able to trade that. Let me have a look on the other one. Okay, this is nicer. We took the Asian high, delivered price. Maybe the news, because of the news, it had a big impact maybe. This is nice, that worked. Okay. Look at this. Brilliant. Asian range, imagine trying to buy this. The short of the Asian range. Wow. So I've done a video in the past on this where indices obviously they're biased long, right? But when things happen, they happen fast and aggressive. Look at that. Super aggressive. What is that? From one session to the other, 600 pips? What is that? That's crazy. $60 pips, obviously. Right, let's see the chat 1 second, and then I'll re-look at the chat. Let's go up to what goals do you usually have on a fresh funded account? One is the goal on a fresh funded account. Wait, would you mean a personal account or a funded account? Do you mean like you have funded through a challenge? I think that's what you're saying. So my first thing is I always do this. When the account is small, I don't trade more than 0.25s broken down into 0.1 lots. Because you're making $5, $10, that is giving you time. And if you get caught, you can actually manage the trade without putting the account to very big risks. As the account dabbles and becomes bigger and bigger, and depending on your previous week's performance, then you can increase a little bit the risk. So for instance, if you're making $500 in a week, or if the account is very, very small, and you're making $50 in account in the week, so you're making, let's say, $10 a day because it's a small account, then I would reposition for that $50. Next week, if I've made $100, then the risk becomes $100. And that almost compounds the way you're dealing with risk. So as a new funded account, my first question will be, how big is that account? If it's very big or if it's a small account. Those are the questions that I would ask when it goes into a new account. Stuart says, fib extension to the upside. Fib extension to the upside. So I'm guessing you're referring to what time frame are you saying there, Stuart? Are you referring that you are talking about bigger picture here, surely? Let us know and we'll have a look on that. What does Mo? Man, I miss the tunes, hearing them. The playlist, please, again, Yiannis, is a favorite playlist. This is a playlist that I have made, so it's not available, unfortunately. The songs are from Artlist. If you go to Artlist, you have to have a subscription to get them. But yeah, they put me in a really good mood. I always have this playlist. Even if I'm not live, I put the headphones, just put the tunes on. Bob around. Just really, really smooth music. I feel like my trading improves with this playlist. I agree with you, Mo. You have been addicted to currency. That's me. Addicted to currencies. And the reason is the financial freedom that they've given me. And obviously it fits my way of trading. Sorry about that. Repositioning only works with something that bounces. And if you look at historical pricing of the pound dollar, let's look at this. Go on to an 8 hour. Look at that. Look at that. This is from 2025, April. Look at that oscillation. That means that if you get things wrong, you can manage a trade. If we do the same to the indice, where is the oscillation here? Look at that. This is not oscillating. This is just going up. And when it doesn't go up, it crashes massively. So obviously, I have to be a realist that my strategy doesn't work with this. I would have to trade a different strategy. Or I would have to adapt it. I would definitely not reposition. I would trade a little bit bigger size. I would want to be in and out of this market. I wouldn't want to be staying long trades like I could potentially do in the currencies. Does that make sense, TJ? Let's go back to safety. Right, so we're looking at this. I'm interested for tomorrow because tomorrow will be a good one for the pound dollar. We've got a big doji here forming. That always creates volatility for the next day. What indicator are you using? This is an indicator I developed myself. I have it in the Discord. I think I have it. If not, I'll put it here. I'll add it in the Discord. So make sure you scan this to join our Discord at Trade Set Go, and I have a lot of free stuff in there that you can go and look up. Okay, so let's see what Stuart is saying. On the hourly, the DAX rejected the 0236 fib from the zero, looking for the upside. Okay, on the hourly. Right, so if you're talking about the upside, you're referring to this low to this high. And this is the pound dollar, which you are not interested in. Okay, so you're referring to this. Okay, I see what you're saying, Stuart. I see you now. It took a while, but we got there. So the rejection of the 0236 to the upside. Yeah, I can see that. I have no issues with that. Is also another strategy. What's his name? I have the book in there. Russ something. I have to find the book. But he also talks about the rejection of 023 and the continuation. Obviously, if we're breaking below and holding, what we're referring to the Fibonacci retracement to the golden zone would be a candle forming below here and closing below here. Then that is a high probability of roughly 70%, if you look at historical data, that is retracing to at least 50%. That is interesting. I don't know if this, it's been a long day here in Madrid so far. In Madrid, yeah, that's nice. Spain is nice. That is one of the places that I would like to not only visit but potentially live in Spain, because I like paddle. I don't know if you've played paddle. It's something that I do on a nearly daily basis to keep fit and keep my competitive juices going. So Spain has a very good paddle, and it's a good time zone for trading. So maybe one day, Portugal, Spain. These obviously Greece is my hometown. Would love to live in Greece as well. Mystic Miles says Dubai plans new port to bypass the Strait of Hormuz. Could that be happening? If that was the case, oh my God, yeah, you're talking about it, yeah. Dubai plans new port to bypass Strait of Hormuz. DP World intend to create a new port and container terminal. That would be huge. Reducing Dubai's reliance on its flagship. According to persons, what happened to the dollar with that? That would be bullish for the dollar. $9.39. 3 minutes ago. Let's look at that again. Pound dollar goes bullish. Dubai plans new port to bypass the Strait of Hormuz. Crazy. How crazy is that? It's in Fib Secrets. That I've not read that book actually. Sounds like a good book. US dollar is pushing higher on the news of recreating a port. What is happening to the world? It's crazy. It's everywhere, actually. I'm just getting notifications now on the FT financial I'm just looking at the news. Dubai plans new port to bypass Strait of Hormuz. Wow. Okay. Okay. What's that done to gold? My question is. Okay. Just a gentle Monday. Gold is dropping with a passion to go lower. I'm guessing oil prices are, in theory, they should be dropping to the good news that there's another way of getting oil. No wealth tax in Madrid and lower taxes in Canary. Ooh, Canary Islands, that would be nice. Is it a bit quiet though? A lot I've heard of that is a little bit quiet because obviously with families you look at schools, you look at things, you don't want to be retiring already. Love paddle. We have a court next to the pool. You have your own paddle court? That is epic if you do. I'll be waiting for my invite there. Obsessed with paddle. It's great. We are looking at the live news happening right now. We had the Trump announcement that he's not a fan of what's happening and he wants to take over Hormuz. And then Dubai just drops another mic drop and saying, don't worry, we got your back. We're going to create a new port. We're going to bypass the Strait of Hormuz. Crazy. US shift to disengage from European securities is credit negative for European sovereignty or sovereigns. Yeah, that is on Financial Juice coming in right now. As you know, tomorrow we have core CPI. That is a big one. That will be at 8:30 my time here in Bali. But we're talking about London, New York Open. Too quiet for me on the island. Yeah, I think it's I've heard it is a little bit quiet over there. Secret Fibonacci trading. Frank Miller. Frank Miller. Secrets of Fibonacci trading. Have I read that book? Let me see the I don't think I've read that book. When is it? It's 2021 updated. Frank Miller. I have not. I might have it on my summer list. That's how boring I am. I read books about Fibonacci's. Blame Stuart. What are you doing? You're on holiday. Well, there was this guy who talked about Miller. We're looking at, what are we? 13 minutes to go. If you have any more questions, guys, for me, I'm still here for another quarter of an hour. If you are tuning in late, we had London session trading happening. We had some really good entries. We made about 38 pips, and that account is going nicely. With these news and CPI tomorrow, I might have to drop a bit of the lot sizes. I don't feel like trading. Depends. We'll see on the average true range, but I don't feel like entering with a one lot on these. Even though the management is only 5 pips, the volatility is a little bit too high with what's going on. We'll see. Maybe I have to adapt for Tuesday. But the delivery of pound dollar dropping below the previous daily high. Brilliant. But look at these pins now. This will be interesting. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4 hourly pins around this area. Sometimes you miss levels, but this looks like an area of a level here. So yeah, that will be interesting. Now, someone said, where can I find these indicators? This indicator is really cool, guys. I'm really proud of this one because it's obviously inspired by the Scruffy trader and the way he does levels. This puts those levels onto the chart, monthly, weekly, and daily. It also gives me the ATR of whatever thing I'm looking at. So if I'm on the hour, it will give me the hourly true range that the market is moving. So that's really cool. What else does it do? This magic tool that we have created here. I can show monthlies, weeklies, dailies. I can take them off. Obviously, I can say how far back I can look at. 12 months, if it's 26 weeks, 7 dailies, all this stuff. Show the ATR and all the other stuff. What colors you want to show and so on. If you want to combine monthly levels that are close by and all that stuff. Okay, so I have it in the message. Okay, yeah. If you scan if you scan here, the barcode, that would get you into Trade Set Go. And when you get into Trade Set Go, I will post it in a webinar forum. Or actually, sorry, I will post it in tools and resources. Let me just put a reminder. Trading view indicator coming here soon. So that's where you can find it. How long do your trades usually go for? It really varies. That's the benefit of doing this for living. And Maria, sorry, I missed your, I'll read that. It depends on, it can be a few hours, it can be a few minutes, it can be a few days, it can be, if I don't like the setup, but I have to hold it because then there's another setup in the week, it might be a full week and I have to wait for the next week. So it varies. It really varies. For me, it's not how fast I can be in and out. For me, it's how can I be safe and profitable. And sometimes, if you get a bad entry, you can be profitable if you let the market breathe a little bit, so you don't react and overtrade. So that might be you have to, unfortunately, lose opportunities because you're holding a trade for over a week. But I would rather be safe than sorry. Maria, zero tax in Republic of Georgia on personal trading profits, 15% corporate tax on prop firms paid on the part you distribute. you can get H&W tax certificate that removes physical. Okay, that's some cool information there from Maria on Republic of Georgia. Also 1% of small businesses' profits. There are some good places where you can, when you can trade for really profitable way, not avoiding, but not paying as much tax. So we can see here we are approaching the low that we talked about. Is it going to deliver price below that low? We are going to see, this is the hourly. You can see the 1 minute now. Obviously, the news that is coming out is impacting this. Putin promises a more powerful and grown response to Ukraine's strike. How can we forget Ukraine? That is also happening in this very, very nice, quiet Monday. Republic of Georgia also has corporate profit tax reduces to 5% instead of standard 15%. Dividend tax is 0. Okay. Yeah, I've heard a couple of good places for like tax-free as well, which can actually happen. Yeah, Canary Islands was one of them actually. Also, Greece provides a 5-year. They want to promote people going to Greece, so they have like a 5-year where you pay minimum or 0 tax. Portugal also has a 3-year, I think. When the time comes, I will be looking at all those options. Thanks, Maria. That's really insightful. Where are we here? Let's look at the gold situation going on. I want to see at Bitcoin as well, because we had, I see a 2%. Oh, we gapped down. Let's see on the daily where we are. 62s are in danger here, I would say. After the lows, we went down to 57,000. It's taking a little bit of a beating, Bitcoin. Look at that. This is a funny area for Bitcoin because, and these are the levels on here, because it's at an area where there was a lot of activity. If you put a volume graph on here, you would see all that volume being right here. And obviously dreading that this goes anywhere lower 58, because then there's not much below it. So that will be interesting to see because it's on that verge of seeing what's going to happen here. It's scary times for Bitcoin, very scary times where people are holding Bitcoin. Yeah, Ethereum as well. If you think that we were at close, we hit 5,000? I think it hit 5,000 or very close to it. And now it's at 1,700. Ouch. Good old currencies. Good old currencies. Let's see. Okay, so just to look at we've got 5 minutes, so let's have a look about tomorrow. As we said, we've got core CPI. So if you're trading core CPI, you've got at London, at New York overlap. So that was going to be, actually that's going to be about, what time is it? Let me change the time zone. This is GMT. Let's go New York. So 8:30 a.m. New York time, that is when CPI will be hitting. Bang. What is the forecast? Let's have a look. Year on year, we're looking at a forecast of 3.8. last one was 4.2 actual, and the forecast was forecasted higher because it came in at 3.3 and it was given at 4.2, 3.8, sorry. So that is a bullish sign. Let's have a look on how it reacts. Change in the price of goods and services purchased actually greater than forecast is good for currencies. So if it's higher, we're looking at a bullish sentiment on the currencies. Then is the few non-seasonal adjusted numbers reported on the calendar. Okay, so this is where we don't have. It sounds like we don't have revisions. The average price of various goods for consumer price 11 days after the month ends. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be interesting. We're seeing a bit of a spike here coming up in prices. Let's change that to my time before I forget. Stuart, good information there from Maria. Spain cannot compete with Georgian tax. Yeah, that does sound very, very enticing. Her friend based in Bulgaria, which is 10% tax. I think every country is trying to think of ways where they can bring investment in. And one of the ways to bring investment in is to make really enticing tax exceptions for people to come. I know there's countries that provide benefits for also buying property. For instance, I think in Greece, you can actually get a visa or a golden visa if you buy a property above, I don't know what it is, like 300,000. You actually get like and that is a way that a lot of Chinese get into Europe, is because because it's very hard to get a visa, but if you have, unfortunately, for a lot of people, if you have money and you buy a property, then it gives you the rights to enter, because you have the property there. So the benefits of that. Gold is moving. I'm seeing there from. DAX is moving. Let's have a look at DAX. DAX is hitting previous monthly levels. We're broken above, and it's on the rise. We talked about that rejection on the 23. Cyprus is also good, actually. Cyprus is actually really, really good. That's why you have ChatGPTs and Claudes, because they can actually go and look at all the countries and tell you which ones are the best for trading or for holding capital, for all of this. I think that is where AI is best utilized, is when you have things that it can go and do research for you and find that information out. But the amazing part of RG is the HNWI certificate. If you're a pair with a residency, it gives you. Yes, that is the other thing. There's a few countries that do that, where you can open companies and you don't have to be there. Because they want the incentive of business. So for instance, owning an LLC in America, which is a limited company, you can be anywhere in the world and you can own a limited company in America as long as you're not doing business with Americans. So that is another way of doing business. And then you can choose to what country you want to go. And your tax applies to that country. Okay, 10:01 for my time. It's a late one, but it was so much fun, guys. It was really nice to reconnect with Maria and everyone. Stuart, I don't want to miss anyone. PV, or is it PV? I always forget that name because I remember from the past. PVT parts. Mo and everyone who joined. It was really, really nice to see you. I hope you took something. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and put the bell on because there will be more lives coming up. And yeah. Yiannis is such a smooth operator. I hope so. My trades go as smooth as the operating goes, because that will be fantastic. So have a good one, guys. We're going to call it there. Great session today. Biggest takeaways that I'm going to drop you. If you're still here, you're going to get some knowledge, golden knowledge before we go. The first thing, we talked about pips and risk. First thing, I always like to risk or manage the risk with a monetary value. It makes it more real. It makes it more authentic to what you're trying to achieve. For instance, you might be risk management might say you need to put $100 on that, but if you're only making 20 to 50 bucks, the $100 doesn't make sense. We're seeing a rejection there on the German. Look at that. Second take is don't join the hate when people hate on people. There's a reason they're hated, especially in the education field. If someone is hated, it's a reason that they're probably doing something right. Go and find what little golden nugget you can learn from every single person that is putting information out there. Obviously, you need to do their research, right? That have been profitable, or are doing things that are actually doing well. Take it and make it your own. Don't listen to them and just backtest their strategy. Use it to build your own strategy. That's the second one. I'm Luna, by the way. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I can call you Luna now. I won't forget that, PVT. Finally is stay patient and stay frugal. And what that means for the non-English speakers, frugal means that don't chase the big money in trading, because that is the fastest way to disrupting everything that you're doing, and you will give up very, very soon after blown up accounts. So yeah, those are the 3 takes for today. And I'll see you very, 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 very soon. Have a good one, guys.